Welcome to Gwen's Twisted Limbs Yoga. Today we'll be using 2 blankets. So go ahead and roll one. It'll be the length of your spine. And then place that up and down your mat, and the other, give it a roll, and that'll be situated right behind the skull, right at the top, like a T. Then go ahead and sit your sit bones down. Place yourself so that you feel comfortable, and then fold over so that the back of your skull is comfortable and you can rock and let yourself settle in, draping over the props. Walk the feet a little closer to you. Go ahead and heel toe the feet a bit wider. Pivot the toes inward so the inner knees knock. Give a little wriggle this way, a little wriggle that way, and make sure that you're feeling something up and down the spinal column. Each exhale, noticing maybe a little more weight coming into that area of the blanket as the shoulders sink down towards the floor. Close those beautiful eyes and allow yourself to rest as you tune into your breath. In through the nose and then out through the mouth for a few cleansing breaths. As the body feels into this support. And one more cleansing breath just like that. Then inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. Notice what nasal breathing is like in this moment. Is it available? If there's any obstacles in the way, big or small, come into this breath in little snippets. Or you can leave it off to the side and breathe any which way that feels good. You can revisit it and notice if there's been any subtle shifts. Dial your attention all the way into the back of the throat area. And notice how it feels there. Maybe like a breeze, a cool breeze. And what does it sound like? As the breath naturally starts to slow through the Ujjayi breath, we dive into the parasympathetic nervous system, where we can sink in just a little bit more. We leave the sympathetic of fight or flight to rejuvenate, restore, and recalibrate. So let yourself rest here now. In through the nose and out through the nose. Now let's marry this with a little bit of movement. On your next breath, let the arms float up. Interlace the fingers and send the palms up. Take a deep breath like a yawn. Let one elbow come downward towards the floor. It might even touch. And then a semicircle as you breathe around the crown and over to the other side, the elbow can touch. Deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose as the arms gently, softly move in a semicircle above the crown. Nice and slow, like the second hand on a clock. You sense and feel something, you're doing it right. Feeling from the inside out now. For one more this way. And then one more that way. So now we'll go in a continual circling motion, coming down towards the navel and over to the other side, nice and large circles. You can marry it with the breath if you'd like, exhaling down one side, inhaling up the other side. And then what is the other direction like? Wobbling, letting yourself rock and roll. This mindful acupressure coming through the whole length of the spinal column now, as we playfully move like this. For one more circle. Then leave the arms up and undo the hands. Press through the center of the palm and feel through the spaces between the fingers. And then relax that effort. Go ahead and spin the hands around the wrist in a circular motion, like you're the conductor of the band, and then the other direction. Maybe a semicircle. Then a little shake. A little shake with the hands like you're drying them. And then all the way down. You can even bring the fingers to the thumb and flick. A little flick all the way to the floor. Roll the knuckles heavy. Observe as your body absorbs all of this goodness from the fingertips through to the elbows, to the shoulders, all the way into that heart center, up and down the length of the spine. Let's go ahead and bring the knees away from each other. Feel the feet. Feel that little bit of power into the floor. Hands at the edges of the pelvis now. Let the right hip come up off the floor. You'll pause there, feeling the other side heavy. And then press the right hand into the edge of the pelvis and bring it down to the floor. Let the other come up. So now we're pausing with the left sit bone nice and high and the other one down. And go side to side like that. Nice and rhythmic, like a fluid motion. Feeling one edge of the pelvis heavy and the other edge of the pelvis float up. Eyes are closed. And now let's bring the head into the motion now, so the neck. So as the right side comes down and the left comes up, pause. Let the head roll to the left. So the nose is pointed in the direction of that hip coming up. Place it down. Let the head roll now to the other side as that side comes up. And now let's move like this. The whole length of the spine moving. Feeling a little something. You're doing it right. Close the eyes so you can sense the bottom of the spine through the pelvis and the top of the spine through the head moving. For one more this way. And then one more the other way. Then you'll go ahead and roll to one side and bring one roll off, maybe where your head was, and the other one widthways. We're going to bring our elbows to that other roll. So bring yourself down and feel where your bra strap is or the bottom of your shoulder blades. And then give it a press. Bring your hands behind the skull and lower your head down so that the roll is below our shoulders, armpit area. So the arms, if they're like a T, would be above the roll. And then once you feel that, yeah, I have it in the right direction, I have it in the right spot now, go ahead and place the hands on the edges of the pelvis once again. And we're going to come into that same movement now, like this. So let one hip come up, let one sit bone rise, pause there, and let the head slowly move in that general direction. And then as that sit bone comes down, the head rolls to center. Let the other sit bone come up off of the floor and the head roll in that direction. Once you have the gist of it, eyes are closed. Notice how the body can breathe like this. What does the breath feel like as you breathe in and out through the nose? A continual motion up and down the spine. As we bring a little bit more pressure into that kidney band, feeling the back of the rib cage. Maybe for you it's the front of the rib cage, heart center cracking wide open. For one more this way. And then one more that way. Then let the knees point up, arms come out like that T. We're going to come into that same motion, but this time the upper body from the navel up is going to initiate the movement. It's going to start the movement. Take the right hand into the heart center, the sternum area. Then take that palm to the other shoulder, the left, and let the whole body roll in that general direction. Come back the same way with the hand tracing that arm, heart center, and then coming out like a T. You can pause and then the other hand comes in, rolling in the other direction. Once you have the gist of this, then feel and notice. Start to become a little bit more playful with it. Connect to that inner grin. For one more this way. And then one more that way. Then come out onto your back. Knees are bent. Walk the feet closer to you. Take your thumbs on the edge, on the upper edge of the roll, and press into the feet and let the sit bones curl up. So let them come up so that you're in a bridge pose. Then press the roll to the back of the pelvis, the back of the sacrum, so that the sit bones feel like they're coming over one edge just a little bit. And just notice how that feels. Pause there for a moment. A little rock to the back of the skull. Let it lengthen up like it feels like it's becoming a little taller. Walking up that ladder maybe. Lengthening the upper spine as the pelvis is just a little higher than the heart. So we're in an inversion, very mild inversion here. Then you'll pause, noticing how you feel. We'll come into that same motion like this now. So let the right hip come up, word. The head roll into that general direction. Pause there. And then let that hip come down, that side of the pelvis. Let the head roll to the other side. And now we're moving like this. Nice and slow, fluid-like. There might be light little pauses with the hips up, the head over in that general direction. Notice how the body can breathe like this. One more this way. And then one more that way. And then, From here, we're going to come into a twist. So we're going to bring our hands to the outer edges of the blanket, of the roll that's underneath our pelvis, and press into the feet so you're hovering just above it. You're going to bring the roll right over, so a lot of the roll is going to be outside that left side. And then place the pelvis back down so that it's right on the edge of that right side. One foot comes up and then the other. Let the legs come over so that you're placing them right onto the roll. And this is where you might need the other roll. So go ahead and grab it, and if you need it, place it underneath. So it'll be like a T shape right underneath the outer edge of the bottom leg. If that feels better, then leave it there. If it feels better for it to come down, then just scooch it off. And the arms can come outward for a moment while you observe this shape in your body, allowing the breath to move you. Then go ahead, legs are pointed over to the left, take the right arm upward and bend that elbow. Take the other hand towards it, and it can hang on to the wrist, or if you'd like, the hands can be away from each other and upward. These are invitations with the arms, so if this doesn't feel good, you can leave the arms down, or one up and one down on the belly maybe, or legs. So feel free. The nose can point in any direction, towards the knees, to the ceiling, or maybe it feels like heaven on earth to bring it to the opposite direction. In through the nose and out through the nose. Scan the body where you can relax just a little bit more. Let the jaw slacken. Feel the shoulders relax down. Feel that weight coming through the torso, the hips, the legs. And that lightness through the breath. And one more breath just like that. Let that top leg come up. Place that foot on the floor. The other one will follow. Press the feet into the floor, hover, and send the blanket now over to the other side. This is where you might need the other blanket. So go ahead and place it over there just in case, right at the top. One foot comes off the floor and then the other, and let's come into the twist on the other side. Let the legs come down. Hands can stay down for now, or maybe you keep them down. Knees are pointed over to the right. The left arm can come up, bend at the elbow, and bring the other hand to capture that wrist. Or the hands can come away from each other in a diamond shape maybe. So whatever feels yummy here. One hand up, one down. Nose can point up to the ceiling, towards the knees, or in the opposite direction. Once you're where you'd like to be, go ahead and zero in to the breath. Feel the belly rise and fall. And where could you relax just a little bit more here? Relax through the jaw. Feel that weight come through the shoulders. Each exhale a little heavier through the rib cage. The pelvis nice and heavy. The legs like they're filled with that beautiful clay. Nice and light through the breath. Feel the spinal column from the top to the bottom now. A beautiful twist, a ringing out. And one more breath like this. If the arms are up, let them come down. Point the nose up. Let the top leg come up. The other one will follow. Bring the feet to the floor. Press the blanket down so the whole length of the spine is flat. Let the legs gently come down and drape over the blanket. The blanket can be underneath. And just notice how you feel. Hands on the belly or hands by your side. Option to take the blanket on top of the pelvis as a weight. And if you're on the chilly side, this wasn't a heat building class, then you can drape the body with the other blanket to keep in that warmth. And close the eyes as you feel and notice the whole body. Let yourself rest here. And thank you for your practice. Namaste.